How long does it take to become a millionaire? 50 years? 20 years? Or at least 5 years? What if we told you that a man has done it in just 3 months? That's right, Grant Cardone achieved the tag of a millionaire in just 90 days. What's the secret? We will break it down for you. And who knows, you could replicate it or even better it. Grant Cardone is now 62 years old after having invested in multifamily real estate since the mid-1990s, where he founded Cardone Capital in 2015. It is a real estate crowdfunding platform which has under its control over $2 billion worth of assets under management. Now in his 60s, his lifestyle is far from the one he knew growing up. He isn't the one to keep it hidden. Rather, he likes to flash it around online. Whether it is on his Instagram at Grant Cardone and YouTube videos on his channel named Grant Cardone. On there, he will give you a tour on his $10 million penthouses or his $61 million private jets, or show you his watch collection worth over $1 million. You might have already judged him to be one of those already established rich men for whom the next million is just around the corner. After all, we all know that money attracts money. And when you have $2 billion assets under management, it shouldn't be that difficult to make $10,000 in 10 days. Then, what makes Grant Cardone so much different from the others in the list of illustrated lists of multimillionaires? He participated in the second season of Undercover Billionaire. It is a TV show on Discovery where successful business people have to create a $1 million business in 90 days or less, and with only 3 things to get started. Number 1, a battered car. Number 2, a phone with no contacts. And number 3, $100 in cash. They get released off in a random city where no one knows them, and they don't know anyone either. Cardone's random city was Pueblo, Colorado, where he reached there in his private jet, far away from his Miami high-rise. Cardone is a larger-than-life character. You don't have to like everything about him, but watching him hustling it up on Discovery, where he starts from scratch, with no cash, no links, nothing, will show the talent of the man. It will leave you realizing that even though he can be a bit flashy, he still has built everything from scratch, and the show helps you pick his brains. In this video, we will focus on the steps that Grant Cardone took to generate a $1 million business starting from nothing. There's no trick, no hidden secret, no cheat code involved, or manipulation involved. He did it, and here's how. Step 1. Earn contracts and convert them into key partners. When you have nothing and get dropped off in a random city where nobody knows you and you know no one, the first thing you need to do is to start making contacts. Grant was asked to change his name to another for the show. The newly christened Lewis Curtis shows up at an RV rental place and boldly asks the owner that he wants to sleep in one of his trailers for free. He gets the favor, and there goes his first contact in the city. The subsequent day, he inquires him if he knows any business people in Pueblo who would be interested in new openings. Voila! He secures his second and more prominent contact info of Matt. Matt is a guy who owns a gym and a mattress store. Nothing like Grant's real-life establishment, but in his current state, a valuable start. Matt quickly ends up being Grant's main business partner and the key contact that will unlock the door to his first $10,000 in Pueblo. Just think about it. How many contacts in your mobile phone? How of these contacts do you have on your phone that could help you set up a business today? Anyone who is working in the business world and is facing steep challenges, especially in the real estate, Grant will advise you that everything starts with people. So whether you're looking to sell houses or start a company, you will need contacts who invest, employees who will work for you, advisors who will give you the right direction, just folks crazy enough to follow you in your quest. Identifying those key people early in your journey is critical, so make sure you're always on the lookout for these talents and characters. Step 2. Know the exact pitch to grow. It's one thing to find the relevant people. It's another thing to get them on board. After all, why should they leave everything they are doing and just follow you into what may seem initially a pipe dream? In the show, Grant shows up at Matt's gym and asks him one simple question right away. How can I help? He has a little story he came up with as to what he's doing in Pueblo. But here's the brief story. He has just recently moved here and is looking to move the family over. He is looking for business opportunities. The most critical thing, he says, is that he wants to make Matt and himself a lot of money. Well, at first, the prudent and cautious Matt is caught off guard. After all, a stranger has just shown up with cameras and a production team all around him. Then, to make Matt